Hello and welcome to Debunk Kenya, the channel where we bust myths and tell you the truth about celebrities. Music is a big thing internationally and musicians make a lot of money from the crowds and audiences they pull. Music itself is an art, and in Kenya we have a number of artists in the music industry, from mediocre to very good artists. To mention a few good musicians, we have Octopizzo number 9 Mwenyu. We have King Kaka, the spoken word maestro. We have the very talented Nyasinski still representing. Don't forget our gospel singer Mercy Masika as we move on to the coastal man Masoti himself. Is not to be left out of the list, and so we could not leave out the gifted Nikita Kering. The rising star Jovial is also a force to watch out for as we close with Mr. Okello Max. When it comes to groups and bands, there are a few notable groups that fly the flag above others, and we can mention just 3, but that doesn't mean that these are the only bands that give good vibes. Heart the band is a major group that composes and sings nicely. Wakadinali are a hip-hop group that are notable for their style, and of course you cannot talk about Kenyan bands without mentioning the big Sauti Sol. So the major question is, why can't Kenyan musicians attract crowds big enough to fill stadiums when their Nigerian and South African counterparts do it successfully? Kasarani Stadium, which is Kenya's biggest stadium, has a capacity of 60,000 people. This means that no Kenyan artist can pull an audience of 60,000 people. In other words, they cannot convince this much people that they are worth the time and money, so let's find out why. Little home support. It is no secret that Kenyans will come to watch foreign artists in droves and will always pay more for these shows. Nigerian artists can attest to this fact because they charge up to $100,000 to perform in Kenya and they get paid, but Kenyan artists can't be paid this much money by local promoters. Yes, Kenyan radio stations have set 30% of the airplay for local music, but close to 60% of the music played is either Nigerian, Tanzanian or Western. This is because Kenyans prefer this music more than their own, and here is where it all unravels. You see, a Kenyan artist lack creativity and originality. They either want to sound like a particular artist or will copy the style of another foreign musician because they saw him sell a lot. This makes the audience not intrigued by the music because in real sense it has nothing new at all. The Tanzanians are poetic in their music while the Congolese have a rhythm to their music, so they are known for something. Unfortunately, another issue is that when Kenyan musicians try to be original, they will do a good job, but their subsequent songs will all sound similar, so when you listen to one song it will be as good as having listened to all their songs. This also erodes the artist's capacity to move music further within the audience. More of silly showbiz and drama than actual music and good lyrics. Kenyan artists are known to be too much into showing the public what their lives are all about rather than putting time and resources into making good music. Their Instagram pages are flooded with the good life pictures while their lyrical capacity leaves a lot to be desired. This results into artists churning out crappy music that cannot stand the test of time. Because of the aforementioned fact, the Kenyan artist is not a composer. He cannot sit down and play with words in a meaningful way that brings out a message clearly but also pleasantly. The art of poetry and composition evades this artist at every turn, thus dry lyrics that are just a waste of words. Nikita Kering is an example of what good lyrics and composition can bring out in her legendary song called X. However, to make up for lack of lyrics, a lot of Kenyan artists turn to sexuality and vulgarity in their songs to capture the audience's attention. This does work, but for a very short time and for very few people. Terribly poor music producers. A producer will make or break a song, this is a fact. Kenyan overpraised producers are the epitome of mediocrity. They lack creativity and always bring out normal boring beats. They should observe their Nigerian counterparts who set the continent ablaze with beat after beat after beat, thus making Nigerian musicians icons in Africa. Kenyan musicians are only chasing money and nothing more. Most Kenyan musicians are in the industry to make money. This is not to say money should not be a goal, but when money is a goal, one should invest in the music well. However, the Kenyan artist wants to put in as little as possible in terms of money and time but expect big gains from the malnourished investments they make in their careers. They fail to understand that if you plant garbage you will reap garbage because input determines output. In conclusion, the Kenyan artist cannot fill a stadium because he has not taken time to grow himself into a desirable product that the home folks can look forward to watching perform his music. Instead, he puts a lot of effort in all the wrong places like Instagram and focuses on things like endorsements, thus killing his music. So every time they go to perform, the people know that it's not worth the buy. This is Debunk Kenya and thank you for watching.